play and see where we go. Can you not, ma'am? Where are my pencils, huh? Did you take them? Here, play with. No. Excuse me. Can you get off, please? I want to sit down. Here. Go play with this. Go over there. Go over there. Okay. So, I haven't done a video in a really long time. This week and last week have been kind of, well, last week, what was going on? I think my sleep schedule was starting to get really annoying. And then this week I had an annoying sleep schedule and finals. So today was the last day of my classes, and next week start some new classes. Today, well, last night I went to bed around 9:30, but I was in between sleep and waking up until like 11:30, and then I think I pretty much slept through the whole night. And I was able to get up this morning. I think I got out of bed like at 7:30, which I feel really good about. I had a drink of Monster, which Monsters don't really do anything caffeine-wise. Caffeine doesn't really do anything, actually, I should say that, because even just drinking coffee in the morning, I don't do that because it doesn't do anything. It doesn't give me like a pick-me-up or a wake-up kind of a thing, so it's kind of pointless. But I think because the Monster was cold, it did kind of wake me up. Because usually I get up and I make tea because I try to be healthy. But this morning I woke up and I was like, no, I need something else. So I had a Monster. Anyway, so today didn't have time to draw anything, but I still wanted to make a video, and I was thinking maybe I would try to figure out how to teach people how to draw an eyeball, because even though, you know, a lot of my eyeballs are like drawn from reference. Is that what I'm trying to say? Right? This was drawn from reference. This one might have been drawn from reference. Which other one? I don't think this one. I'm not sure about this one. Let me see. Anyway, some of them are referenced and some of them are just my own. Like this one's my own. So, and really, honestly, this is the only way I know how to draw them. They all look alike when I draw them without a reference. This is a reference, right? Versus me versus reference, right? There's a lot more detail going on there. It's really beautiful, huh? I really took my time with the center of that. And I totally could have kept going, but I get angsty. Anyway, so I figured maybe I would take a break from the crybaby videos and the deep videos, right? And just try to figure out how to teach, because I've never done this before. And there are lots of videos online, you know, that do this. So I'm not really trying to turn this into like oh, I can teach you how to do this channel. But if you would like to learn how I do it, you'd like to see, I guess I can try and break it down. So I got a lined paper, just because everybody has lined paper, and you know, when you're practicing, why are you going to buy something fancy, right? I mean, I have a lot of sketchbooks. It's not like I can't use one of those, but I figure if you're at home, you're just a regular person. I mean, we're all regular people, but if you aren't really an artist and you don't have a shitload of like art supplies, just get yourself a sheet of whatever you could find. Okay, so sorry the lighting is uneven. I'm gonna try to keep my, well, my hand's gonna be in the way, so sorry, the lighting sucks. That's it. Okay, so I guess it all starts with the iris, right? Oh my gosh, Tigger, leave him alone. It all starts with the iris. Simple circle. I'm gonna go ahead and use 2 lines to just sketch out a circle. I don't think I've ever just drawn a circle like without doing this, right? Because I don't know if I can draw a circle. Let me see. Well, that's not bad. That's not bad actually, but I mean, I guess I could just start with that. This is funny. Let me see. I guess. Whatever. Sketch it or draw it. It doesn't matter. Just get a damn circle on this paper. And then you're gonna want to do like the top lid, or this is how I do it. I then go with the top lid and I cut off a little bit of the iris. You could totally go lower, right? Maybe going a little lower is better. And then get whatever kind of shape you want, kind of, I don't know, like this. And I usually make the front part a little longer than the back part, because the back part, can you see that? It always has like a little curve, or like a little, like a, would it be like a U? Like a really wide U, or like a septum piercing, right? It's gonna be such a funny, and I kind of put it at the edge of that. Then I go and I make a line just underneath. It doesn't have to be touching, but oh fuck, hold on. This isn't turning out. You know what I mean? Ugh. This is gonna be a horrible video. Whatever, I hope it makes someone laugh. So the bottom. Okay, so maybe go a little shorter up here with like the outer corner of the eye, right? Because I went really low and then did my U really low. And maybe you could do like a slightly open V rather than a U, right? It's a little bit more like this, though when you shade and stuff, right? I don't know. I'm really bad at this. This is horrible. That's why I'm not an art teacher. Anyway, so then you connect and just, you know, go down like that. And then right here, the tear duct, you want to lift it a little bit. Lift it and then go down, right? And a lot of this can be fixed with like shading, where you're gonna add a lot and also take away, because, you know, you might not want something, so you can totally erase it if you're working with pencil, or cover it up if you're, you know, want to go over it with pen, make it a dark shading type of thing. Anyway, and then here's more of the tear duct. Usually, well, I guess all eyes are different. Should I? Well, because it's different, because we have like a little, and it depends on the eye, we have a little bit of like, I don't know what to call it, I don't know the terms, but there's a lot going on in this area. So I usually do like the line there, a line here, and kind of close it up with another U. This is the worst eye ever. And I make it dark down here, a little bit shaded, it doesn't really matter. Just in general, it's all kind of mushy in there, in that area. This is terrible. Attempted trying to teach how to draw an eye. I'm gonna erase the top part because we don't need that. And then the iris, wait, is this the iris? Pupil, right? The black, or the center is pupil. So how I learned this, but you could totally play around with this, I think. Usually I like to put my light, you know, the light in the eye, the reflection, I usually like to put it towards the center of the eye. But some people put them over here, some people put it here. You could probably do all sorts of things. Just kind of think of an image and think of the light in that image maybe, and you know what I mean? Like if you're looking at a window, oh well, here it is, right? Here's the window. Or here's the window with your eyelashes in the way because it's close to the eye. And so then your pupil is gonna go and be part of that, right? I'm trying not to sound like a Kardashian. I'm trying not to like do the whole but my throat is really dry. See, it's looking like an eye, right? Not the best, but it's getting there. So I'm gonna change this shape. I like little wormy looking shapes. This doesn't really need to be here. And then what you can do is, I think in most eyes, honestly, or at least the ones that I've drawn, the ones that I've used references for, they always have a really dark top area, whether they're blue or whatever, right? Usually this top part is a little darker than anything else. And kind of bring it, you know, to the side like this. You see that? Just make it a little dark. And you can bring it down. You can bring it down to kind of surround the reflection. Maybe touch the pupil. And here is where you can kind of start, let me see. Let's see. Let's pretend this is it. Here's the top part, blah, blah, blah. Very dark. Pupil, reflection, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of just twitch a little bit. And make that, color that in. And it doesn't have to be the entire eye. I think that would look kind of goofy. But a good portion of it. And some of this will probably turn into like a lighter shade of gray. And so you can do that. You can just kind of make little lines of what you might think would be dark. Right, little areas. Because every eye is very different. It's not about, like as much as when I draw eyes, they all kind of look the same. They don't look the same. I don't think anybody's iris looks the same, like the pattern. They're similar, right? But I don't think they're identical. So I don't think these like little mountainous type, you know, parts. I don't think it matters what it really looks like. I think as long as it's natural, I guess, if it's kind of like wavy, obviously, versus like this, like that's not natural. And then I usually go back to the center and kind of just a little bit. Can you see? Is this not focused? Don't tell me that. How do you guys draw without thinking about, without losing focus? Does it focus on my hand? I can't see. But anyway, hopefully you guys can see it. But a little ways outside of the iris, the pupil, you can do the same. Just kind of draw little twitchy mountain areas. And usually those areas are going to be a little bit darker as you, and then lighter as you go into the pupil, right? But for the most part, it's all light. It's just around underneath here. There's usually like a gradient. Let me erase my reflection because I put those eyelashes in there, but not very well. Okay. And I get really lazy with the rest of the eye because, you know, there's usually lots of like very intricate kind of wiry, veiny looking structures. And although like I could totally look at that stuff and copy it, it would take me a really long time. And so I just kind of make it up. Maybe I'll put like a little dot here, a little dot there, and maybe from the outside I'll make like a longer kind of thing and a little dot here. You could totally just make up what you're seeing. And then as you're what's around like the darker areas, you kind of want to bring in you know, like a gradient, so towards the middle, right? Because it's like a circle, so the outside is going to be darker, and then as you're looking at an eyeball, right, because an eyeball is a circle, I mean, I don't know what it looks like directly through, but scratch that. I'm overthinking that. Scratch it, okay? Just scratch it. Just go and just do what I'm doing. Just add a little gradient, whatever. And then usually you could use your blending stick. Where are my blending sticks? Here's a skinny one. I could just use this. My brush, I don't know where my brush is at. I usually use my brush, but I don't know where it's at. I don't know where it's at because, oh, there it is. I have to hide them from the cat and then I forget where I put them. So I usually just use my brush. You can use a blending stick as well. Blending stick might be faster. Ta-da! That's an eyeball, right? Like, it's something. Ta-da. I like to really go around, like blend around it and leave like a little bit of the outside. How do I say it? Leave like, you know, it's not a perfect outline. There's just like a little bit outside. Okay. And then I usually go for kind of outlining the top of, like, between our brow bone. Brow bone? Yeah, our brow bone. The little fold. And that's super basic. I'm just gonna do like a nice little U and kind of bring it in towards the inner corner, and then bring it in towards the outer this one's going to be shorter, right? And then I'll do like a lash line, or I'll kind of get an idea of where the lash line is. So I think a lot of people want to draw, because I'm pretty sure I did this at some point. I don't remember it, but it makes sense that I would have done this when I first started drawing like eyeballs, or even when I was really little, right? I think when you're little you draw eyes like this. Oops. And you put the eyelash right here on this line, right? I'm pretty sure I've done that. But that's not how we look. There's usually, and maybe I'll lighten this up to kind of show it a little better. So there's usually like a little space. Where is, oh, dang it. Tigger, oh, I know it's, I'm gonna use my mechanical pencil because it's smaller. It's a finer point. So there's usually a smaller, thin kind of area. Right? You can imagine a smaller area just above where our lashes kind of grow from. So for this, I usually flip it around, but you don't have to. I'm going to try to do it without doing it. So within that space, you're going to want to start your lashes. I usually flip it because, I don't know, I just find it easier to do the curve, right? Because an eyelash is not just this. It's usually got a curl to it. Even people that have super straight eyelashes, I mean, they gotta grow. They don't just grow out like that. They gotta have a little, right? Kind of like a check mark, I guess, but prettier, right? Okay, so here, let me do one really quick upside down so I can get an idea. I'm gonna do this one right here. Whoa! What the heck is that? Pretend you did. Dude, what the fuck? I'm a terrible teacher, Jesus. Anyway, it should look more like that. Ay. This is too ridiculous. Anyway, it should look more like that, right? Damn. And then, you could add another one. I usually like to not space them out too much. Okay, that's a little better. Let me do it right side up. Oh, fuck. I swear I know how to draw eyes, okay? So yeah, you're doing this along that line, inside that line. Jesus. Okay. And obviously not all of your lashes are going to be like that, right? I think I do it upside down just because it's easier to see the separation. Well, let me do these. You could do a bunch of them. When you get to the middle, you kind of want to have them a little bit straighter versus angled, because that's just how it works. Okay, and then as you're going out, you're gonna flip them, right? They're no longer going this way, they're no longer going this way, they're going this way. The middle ones are straighter. And then you go like that, you go like that, and as you're going down this way, usually they're shorter, right? And then let me flip it over. So you see where, let me use a color. Let me use the pen. How much time have I been doing this? 25 minutes? What the hell? Here, let me do this really quick. No way. Okay, come on, red. So you see that this has one of the lines, right? Usually before this line, which is the next lash, can you hear my cat snoring? I don't think you hear him. So in between the lash roots, I guess you could say, you can go in and add more lines. But don't go, I mean, I guess you could go outside of the actual lash, but usually I connect them. So like if you're, let me just stay this way so I know what I'm doing. If you got one like that, and then you got the other one, you want to add little lines that connect to the lash like this. Like that. And not very many fit. I don't know. It depends on your skill, I guess. But that's what I usually do. Is I add these like little little lines. But we're not done. We're not done. There's different kinds of lashes, right? Not all of them are perfect and aligned like that. So sometimes you just want to throw in a weird one. Just throw one in that's like this. Or one that's like excessively long. Usually they're like on the end. Right? That's just like that. It could be straight. Maybe not totally straight, right? But maybe, because sometimes I get them. I think I've gotten some around here that are like this. And it looks weird, right? But that's what happens sometimes. Maybe you don't want too many of those. Anyway, and then you can just go through and add some more. Smaller ones, shorter ones would be nice. Just to kind of fill it up. Right? Again, all coming from that same group, that same line, I should say, from the lash line. These shorter ones, usually they're sparse when you're going this way. Oh, I also want to say, like, a lot of times in the eyes that I've drawn, again, they're coming from the same lash line, but they're kind of going out a little bit to where they're actually hitting the white of the eye, right? It's very kind of nuanced, right? It's not gonna, you're never gonna have like a shitload, but they're there. Sometimes you even get some that are kind of sticking out a little bit like that. It just depends on whether you have somebody with really full lashes or not. Oh, I want to say, when you have the corner of the eye, you don't want to put them down so far. You want this to be visible, because I don't think anybody has lashes this far down on their lash line. So you want to keep this little space open and be able to see this U. So as for the bottom lashes, you kind of want to start somewhere around there as well. There's also a lash line down here. Oh, I should put it right there. Usually it's like this. You have your tear duct, you have the curve of your tear duct, and then it starts to go out a little bit. And then you have your lash line. See, like that? It's usually not a clear line, right? I'm just trying to illustrate it. And then, yeah, you can put some more lashes. Usually lashes on the bottom are a little more sparse. Again, towards the middle, they're going to be a little straighter. As you go in, they're going to be a little shorter and more sparse. And it's the same kind of concept. You might have another lash, like how on these top ones you add lashes like that. I usually add less. So instead of having like 3 or 5 or 4 little lines, maybe just 2. The one and a second one, right? Also, now that I'm remembering, for when you have really dark areas where it looks like it's really thick right there, a great way to kind of make it look like there's a lot of lashes without having to do this or something, you could literally just connect. It's the same concept. It's this, right? You got your lash, but instead of doing this, on some of them, you can just, I'm gonna flip it, literally do one and fill it in. So that's what I'm gonna do with this one. See how it's like a little thicker? You can kind of go through and see what looks balanced enough to do that. Right, gonna play with it. These bottom lashes are ugly. Okay, and then I like to go through right here and use a mechanical pencil actually to really line this part. And then in comes your shading, right? Just your regular old shading. Let me use this stump to make it faster. Do some shading again against the lash line. I guess you don't have to really shade too much. Also, I think I talked about this in another video where I explained that I had been doing some lashes with micron for with the 0.3, just to make them darker, because I did notice, oops, see, I did that wrong. I put them all on the wrong line, but yeah, I do that because when I would blend stuff, they disappeared, and I wanted them to be more pronounced, and I couldn't get it with a pencil. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was blending. So before I close this up, because it's already at 32 minutes, I wanted to show the blending. So I usually go through here, blend down as much as you want, because I guess you can always erase it. But I like to just bring this particular part down into the eye, because usually this is very light, depending of course, but for a basic eye. Then this is usually darker, along the lash line is usually darker. Right here, the tear duct, a little bit down as well. Goes a little bit down, and then brings it over a little bit. This part as well is usually a little darker. You can just play around with it. Really important is also underneath the lash line, where it meets the white of the eye. You can blend that because, you know, the eyelashes cast shadow. Then the whole eye can be kind of shaded as if it was a circle. So in a circle, you know, you got your circle. And shade a circle. No, it's stuck in the table. No way. I don't have another blending stump. Seriously? I have to use a fat one. These are dirty, but oh well. So a circle, when you circle it, right? That's the shading, and then the inside is supposed to be lighter, whiter. So that's basically the same as an eye, right? Shading it on the outside is like showing that spherical shape. And sometimes, you know, the whites of the eyes are in different areas. So usually I go in and I erase the bottom part along maybe the bottom of the iris, going up on the other side, and a little bit like that. Because usually the middle, at least when I draw, is the lightest part. So you want to really, there's the reflection, here's the middle, and everything is kind of, so it's like this, right? It gives that impression. It's not perfect. I'm just trying to finish this up. And then veins. Everybody's eyes are veiny. You just go in there, a little squiggle attached from the squiggle. Squiggle here, squiggle there. And of course, there's so many ways that you could play with shadows and stuff. So yeah, that's an eyeball. That's an eyeball. Sorry that this was not the best out there for sure, but I figured, what the heck, right? And I probably won't do that again. But thank you to whoever sat through this. I hope you laughed at some point. I hope you're having a great day, and if you're not, I hope you have a better part of your day soon, or a better tomorrow, or whatever time zone you're in. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Bye bye. Thank you.